Hello, everybody, and welcome to iReadit, bringing you your daily dose of the internet for Thursday, December 7th, 2017. I am Michael Schwan.
And I'm Nathan Wood.
Don't be telling me that, computer. And we are joined by the one, the only.
Wait, I'm Mike Wazowski.
No, you're not. Where did that even come from? Everybody, today joining us, you have probably heard us.
My face is all covered.
It is?
It's covered by the little SP.
Yeah. That is not
or is
on.
That just...
I think that's only on your phone, buddy.
Oh my god. Alright, well, on my phone it was kind of cool. I was Mike Wazowski.
We are joined by, you've probably heard me say their name several times, commenting from the chat room. We are joined by David Chadwick. David, thank you for being here.
Fucking Chadwick.
Hello, everyone. Yeah, I know.
How's it go?
Chadwick. I'm doing well.
Couple quick notes here at the beginning of the show. One, Nathan's computer is rude and decided that it was going to update right now, and it's currently sitting at, what, 10%?
9.
9, still 9. Okay, so he's operating from his phone, so if the quality's a little bit lower from Nathan's end, we apologize. Chadwick is also operating from his phone, so, yeah. It's all...
The way I had to position the weight so that my phone camera can stay by itself without falling over is I put 2 decks of cards right in front of it, and I can only see half my screen.
Nice. So can you even see who, can you see the show notes?
No.
Okay, I just thought I'd check, okay? Maybe you were...
if I hold my phone, I can, like, flip back and forth, but... Ooh, buddy.
Oh, buddy. All right. Don't worry, I got you, okay?
Oh, word.
Word. Okay. So, Chadwick, thank you for being... Oh, actually, one real quick thing. Everybody, please remember we are going to be doing an AMA and Ask Me Anything, questions and answers, next 1 week from today. That is episode 400 on Thursday, and that will be on December 14th. So if you have questions you would like us to answer, please send them in to us anywhere that you can get a hold of us. iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Just send them to us, however you got there. So, with all that said, and all of the technical limitations addressed, how are both of you doing today?
Today's going to be the fucking top-notch episode. This is going to show all of our production quality at its finest.
The absolute highest quality that can ever be achieved, right?
This is why people need to sponsor us.
Hey, I'm just saying you guys are very flexible. I mean, you get your stuff together. You're all right.
You fucking bet I'm flexible.
Nice.
Not really. I have really old man knees. Like, it's not fun.
Yeah, no, I've gotten my new computer, which was important because everything operates through this thing. Now we need Nathan's new computer because holy crap, is it a piece of junk. Oh, yeah, Lord.
Hey, we just need to get you like an ad sponsorship or something.
Yeah, dude. We just one fucking sponsorship. We need one ad, which is a little bit of revenue coming.
Can we get sponsored by someone that will just sponsor us with equipment? Can we get sponsored by like Newegg or something?
That would be really cool. I mean, if anything, I bet our sponsors would be something along the lines of Soylent and MeUndies.
Yeah. Yeah. So Chadwick, how are you, sir?
I'm doing good. Kind of struggled to work today and started off. I got attacked by a spider in the shower this morning, but other than that, I'm good.
Nathan, is that just your worst nightmare?
Yo, I've seen arachnophobia. That fucking bathroom scene is one of the most terrifying scenes I've ever seen in fucking film.
The worst thing is that I'm mostly blind without my glasses on, so you have to squint and get your face very close to the dark spot on the wall. And then it moves, and you nearly fall out of the bathroom. Oh yeah, that happened to me this time.
Oh, dude, I'm not envious of you whatsoever. I'm sorry.
and you're like, is it just a wad of hair? Is it dirt? Nope, it's Satan. Awesome.
Literal Satan. You know? No, Satan has class. You would not before coming into your bathroom.
Oh Lord.
I feel like Satan would try and sell me something first.
You're damn right he would.
And hey, he's not EA. Give him a break.
Yo, I mean, whatever.
So, how about you, Nathan? How was your day?
It was alright. It was one of the easiest fucking encoding days ever. We had 3 cases set up for 9 o'clock. Nobody showed up. Then we had 5 cases set up for 10 o'clock. Only 2 parties showed up. was served only 2 days prior.
Hang on one second, Nathan. Because I think Chadwick's microphone, when he's not talking, is like, I can't hear anything. I better get more sensitive. Because microphones are dumb like that. Chadwick, say something for me real quick and see if that.
What's up? Do I need to? You need me to do something?
Yeah, that's what it is. So your microphone, when you stop talking, it thinks that it can't hear anything, so it starts making itself more sensitive to try and pick up the sound in the background.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, so like right now, we can't hear anything, but after you've not talked for a while, everything just starts to get louder.
I hear my kids in the background. All right, well, let me see. I'm going to switch microphones then.
Cool. Do what you need. In any case, you were saying that nobody showed up for their in-court stuff, Nathan?
Yeah, no. And then at 10 o'clock, only 2 parties showed up. One, we had to continue because they weren't served at a long enough time period, their initial ex parte order and everything. And then the other one, the plaintiff failed to show up, so the case got closed. So I had to do 2 log notes that consisted of 4 lines apiece. It was the fucking chillest day coming back to work after having 2 days off.
Sick. And then tomorrow you only have a half day, so.
Yeah.
You'll have to tell me if this sounds any better.
Well, we won't know until you don't talk for a while. So how about we just move along with things and see what happens from there? Although I realize
hey, as long as you can hear me, that's all I care about.
I can hear you just fine. That is totally not. Nope.
All right. So I can't see the log notes. I can't see. I can't see the fucking stream. So I don't have anybody who I can't respond to anybody in the chat.
That's fine, Nathan. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Everything's on fire.
More than 200 nations promised to stop ocean plastic waste. This was submitted by Quiglius to Our Uplifting News. So, yeah, 200 nations, which the original one that started it was crap. I already forgot.
Oh, God.
What's crap? Crap themselves.
The nation was pretty good.
In any case, have signed on to, because there are currently, there's a humongous amount of plastic in the ocean, and more is added every year. And I would tell you, it started in Norway. That's what my brain said Normandy the first time, and I knew that was not correct.
Yo, Norway is not crap. They had Vikings. That's where Ragnar Lothbrok came from.
And
Bjorn Ironside. Ivar
an estimated 8 million tons of plastic goes into the ocean every year.
Whoa, that's a lot of fucking plastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw this thing where it was a fucking community. I don't remember what community, but they were offering like 32 cents per bottle that people recycled, and it got that community to have like a 90-something fucking % recycle rate because everyone was bringing in enough to get like $20.
Yeah. I believe it.
I feel like we should up from 5 cents per bottle to, like at least 11 cents. Or we can settle.
I mean, depending on where you're at. I mean, in Anchorage, they charge you money to recycle.
Yo, that is the stupidest thing ever. I hate how we are charged to recycle.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's the way that it works.
Capitalism at its finest.
Have you guys seen the episode? Penn and Teller had a bullshit episode on recycling, and it basically talks about the fact that recycling would be so much more popular if it wasn't so damn expensive.
Yeah. Really unfortunate because it's like, it's fucking important. Really goddamn important.
Well, as they say, it's not only expensive and important, but it's also less effective the more, I don't know, a lot of it is a feel-good story, and it would be more effective if more people would just buy in from the beginning instead of going in with this ridiculous notion, oh, well, if I just separate this one kind of trash, I'll make the environment better. You kind of have to do it with everything, otherwise you're just missing the point.
You're not just doing it for plastics. You have to do it for papers, plastics, and then you got to separate the fucking everything. Literally everything. Metals, fucking man. Glass, yeah, the glass is a huge one.
But people don't want to do that unless they get paid for it. Especially not when they have to pay for it.
Yo, can I get reincarnated as glass after I die?
Why?
Because then I could get blown.
One, hilarious. Like, absolutely
It's a pun.
hilarious. 2, presuming I'm still alive when you die, would you like me to just turn you into a diamond or something?
No. I've already made up my mind with what I'm doing with my body.
You're donating it to science, right?
Yeah, just so that I can get cremated for free.
Nice.
And I mean, to further science, I guess.
You guess. Science!
Yeah. I also decided that if I'm ever in a vegetative state, just fucking end me.
Yeah?
So
do
you're
not
gonna get
want to be a vegetable.
do not resuscitate tattooed on your chest and
Oh,
create a
hell
dilemma for
yeah.
doctors.
Exactly. I'm gonna get on my chest if I'm a vegetable, end me, fam.
In Comic Sans.
Oh god. In wingdings.
So
I'm gonna
nobody
have to
can...
fucking translate.
That's like, so nobody can read it. Right. All
Like,
right.
if I'm out, really, I deserved this, so just let it end.
9.
Texas prisons ban 10,000 books. No Charlie Brown Christmas for inmates, but Mein Kampf is allowed.
I mean, honestly, what's more dangerous? Because, I mean, clearly Charlie Brown is the one you got to worry about here.
Yeah, this
Charlie Brown is a fucking domestic terrorist in its greatest.
Well, this was submitted by Rotatable Signpost to our news, and if you're curious, they're not allowed to have any form of books that overwhelmingly display violence or weaponry or how to make those things. As in terms of Charlie Brown's Christmas and its pop-up book, it is banned because it could be used to sneak things in.
Because why?
Because it could be used to sneak things into the prison.
Well, okay, I can understand a pop-up book. All right, coming from a person who worked at a comic book store that also sold game books, we had to cut off the fucking the covers of so many goddamn game books because you can slip in little like razor blades and shit into the covers. Like, I can completely understand banning pop-up books.
Into game books?
Yeah, like fucking Dungeons and Dragons books. You have to cut off anything that comes with a hardcover. You have to cut the hardcover off.
Oh.
If you are receiving it?
Yeah, like if it's going into the prison system, they have to cut the hardcover off.
Oh, okay.
You can tear off little bits of that paper and slip in like fucking like Coke or something.
Sure.
It's going to ruin my 5th edition. I don't know how that's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean 5th edition kind of ruined itself, but
Joe,
that's true. I actually like 5th edition.
Joe in the chat room says that he is sure that I will outlive you, Nathan.
Probably.
Well, capitalists do tend to live longer than socialists.
Damn. Speaking of which, anybody want to give me money? Patreon.com/dailyinternet.
Yo, I'm gonna capitalize on this socialism real quick. End me quicker.
No, the real reason I'm going to outlive Nathan is because I have food and he doesn't.
Hey, when backed into a corner, animals tend to freak out and go crazy and will do pretty much anything.
Yeah, that's why we're going to
Backed up into a corner enough, I'm gonna eat something.
That's why we're going to go.
Hey, shoe leather, I'll tell you what, it'll keep you alive.
Yeah, I've got plenty of shoes downstairs. Just gotta wash them first.
We're going to go out tomorrow and you'll get some food. How's that?
Yeah.
The other things on this list also, and one thing to keep in mind, this is just for Texas, and Texas is Texas. Shakespeare is banned because of the violence portrayed in Shakespeare. Whereas Waldo are also banned.
Just saying, fucking Romeo and Juliet was full of gangs.
Where's Waldo also banned?
Yo, that's like prime colors, man. Fuck Waldo.
He's already kind of dressed like a prisoner anyway, so why not just leave that one in?
Well, because then it promotes like escaping and blending in with society. We can't have that.
There's also several violent scenes portrayed in Where's Waldo books.
Is there?
Yeah, those are kids' books, which explains so much.
Yeah.
I had no idea, yo.
Well, I mean...
Yo, I bought a kid's book the other day from Tidal Wave. It's right downstairs, and it is called The Faggiest Vampire.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. Next week, I will bring it upstairs. I will show all of you.
Sounds great.
8.
Nearly 60 Democrats just voted to move toward impeaching President Donald Trump.
This was submitted by
Awake at Dawn to Our Politics.
only 60.
Well, so first off, this was put forth by Democratic Representative Al Green. And, he's been harping on impeaching Donald Trump since day zero, essentially. And he had been wanting to put it to a vote, and everyone was like, no, they tabled it, they pushed it off, they tabled it. They're like, we don't need to vote on this right now. We're not going to get anywhere on this right now. And then he used, because there's so many weird little things that you can use in politics, he used one that forced a vote. And they were like, okay. And then they responded with saying, do we want to talk about this now or later, is what the vote essentially came down to. And a total of 6 people said, we should talk about this now. And everyone else was like, this is a waste of time. We'll move on to something else.
I agree. I will agree here. Trying to impeach Trump here is fucking nonsense. Mostly because you still have the fucking investigation going on. Just wait.
Nothing actually mentioned any part of the investigation in this. This is all just, well, he has some kind of association with these bad people, so, and he's also a jerk and a national embarrassment, and so
we should get rid of him. Get him out of here.
I will fucking say right now, let's let it fucking play out, man. And by play out, I mean, wait until the investigation's over.
Yeah, I mean, when you even
wait for him to do something illegal enough to actually get him impeached.
Well, and when you even have people like Nancy Pelosi being like, maybe we shouldn't try and do this right now, it should give you a little bit of an indication of now's not the time.
Yeah, right? Nancy Pelosi's fucking at the fucking
Hey,
grip.
Man, there's nothing that's better for Trump than the crazy lefties. So we're fine with Al Green going nuts up there causing trouble. So that's fine by us.
There's extremists in all categories, man.
All walks of life.
This is better for Trump and better for the Republicans than they think. It looks like a political hit piece. It looks like, playground crybabies. I don't know. I don't have a problem with it.
At this point, I feel like at this point you're right. It is just playground crybabies. Right? But maybe not later on. Like, I can understand them moving forward if something comes of the investigation. At that point, they wouldn't be crybabies.
Yeah, but
right now,
sure.
But right now,
nothing in this. Right. Well, I mean, like I said earlier, nothing in this actual impeachment attempt here mentioned anything about the investigation. So
yeah, that's like the biggest flaw here. It's like, come on.
Well, and also in terms of letting things play out, like, they won't even necessarily need to immediately go to a vote if the investigation actually gets anything in regards to Trump.
Right.
Like, if you just let the investigation play out, you're either going to get the ammunition you need, or you're going to turn up short and not going to be able to do anything really either way, because it's going to solve itself, or you're not going to have anything.
Yeah, no, pretty much, yeah.
7.
Well, what do you mean not going to have anything? We're gonna have Pence.
Sure. Bankrupt Toys R Us wins okay to pay $16 million in executive bonuses.
Jesus fucking.
This was submitted by Dylan Fallino to R News.
That's a lot of money, man.
$16 million in bonuses to 17 top executives as long as the company hits its financial targets during the holiday shopping season.
That's some bullshit.
better go buy something from Toys R Us.
No. I can't even tell you the last time I stepped into Toys R Us.
Toys R Us is very important for one reason.
I'm listening.
Sometimes they get event-exclusive Pokemon.
That is true. But
actually, the last time I was in Toys R Us, I went in to buy a breast pump, actually. It was the last time I was there.
Still that there?
It's been 3 years. It's been a while.
The last time I went in there was for a Ouija board.
I couldn't even tell you the last reason I went to Toys R Us at all.
So they had the Ouija board.
So, yeah. Like...
Fun fact, it's actually pronounced Ouija.
Yeah?
Yeah, because it's supposed to be oui, the French word for yes, and ja, the German word for yes.
It's a yes board?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Shit, you know.
Strange.
Yeah, right?
Where is it?
You make me sad.
Yep. There you go, Nathan. Just for you.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime, really. I'd be sitting at home doing nothing. Just call me up. Be like, yo, you need to make me sad. I'd be like, yo, I got you, fam.
That just makes me think of that friggin' meme that gets passed around of the dude who texts a girl to send him pictures of her cat because her cat's cute.
Right. I do that all the time with Matt's sister.
Whistleblower. Flynn told ex-partner Russia sanctions would be ripped up.
This is submitted by...
Jerry York to Our Politics. So this is not Michael Flynn himself. We don't actually have the name of this source. It is a currently unnamed whistleblower, so you take that how you want. This is also from NBC News for that clarification as well. But these are also based on a series of text messages that are part of the investigation in part of Michael Flynn's personal involvement with all of that shit. Because he has admitted that he was in contact with people from Russia while he was serving as Trump's security advisor. So, I mean, maybe there's something there. There's a good chance. There's also a chance that this is just somebody who's blowing, hot air out their ass. But either way, there's even time frames and stuff. So I'll go ahead and go on with this. And what it is that while Donald Trump was giving his inaugural address, Michael Flynn was texting former business partners about deals that he wanted to make, and those business partners are from Russia.
Interesting. I fucked up my screen. Let's fix that. Okay.
Do that, good sir.
I fixed it, I think.
You think?
Yeah.
Thunk.
So far, so good?
Yeah, I think.
Okay.
Really, all this is a confirmation that Michael Flynn's a shitbag.
And we already knew that.
I don't know. Again, knowing my
would.
political slant here, it kind of sounds like more hot air. I'm just, it's another unnamed source, but I'm not going to full on say fake news because I don't know if I just care. What I will say is I don't know if I care. That's it.
Well, and the thing is I don't know how it would have ever gotten anywhere is the thing. Unless the entirety of the administration was full on involved in the corruption, Michael Flynn wouldn't have been able to get very far in terms of if this is legitimate.
So you have to take what he says and put it in some form of context.
I suppose.
Every little thing is revealing, man. So if those are actually his words, that's a little bit more revealed.
Well, and in this case, it'll really depend on if Michael Flynn had the intent of doing these things or if there were other people involved with him trying to do those things.
I'm so ready for this case to be over, mostly for that last day. I want to get together with a bunch of people and have a party and have I want it to be like the Super Bowl,
I wonder at what point the case is over.
Well, hopefully it doesn't follow the Ken Starr model of investigations and drag out for 4 years.
Yeah, and that's a legitimate concern, is that the investigation will just keep going and going and going. I mean, and if they keep finding stuff, that's cool, I guess, but there's also the potential that they just hit a roadblock and it stalls.
Well, then it becomes a cold case and they just shelf it until they can do something more later on.
Maybe?
I don't know. My worry is that we're going to continue to get stuff like this. Well, there's the potential that he talked to a person about this stuff and he may have been boasting. It may have been nothing, or it may be real. We just don't know, so we're going to have to continue to investigate and spend more money for the next 5-10 years. I don't know.
I'm worried.
Unless there's something concrete, I just... Ugh.
I'm real worried about whistleblowers because, if they accidentally say the wrong fucking thing, they can illegitimize the entire case.
Yeah, it's rough. We'll see what happens, though, moving forward, I guess is really the best that we can do.
Mm-hmm.
5.
FCC Chair Ajit Pai falsely claimed killing net neutrality will help sick and disabled people.
This was submitted by...
Mavia to Our Technology. So, Ajit Pai and telecom lobbyists, as well as the people they represent, have one thing that they're trying to claim, and that is that paid priority, fast lanes are good for the community because people with disabilities need extremely high quality television. They need high quality streams to be able to see like the fine movements of people's hands if they're if they are trying to read sign language or stuff like that. And the only way to guarantee that quality is with paid fast lanes.
What?
Yeah. That was everyone else's response. Is like, actually, but we can access all that stuff now, fine, without problems. And and groups that represent disabled people are like, nope, that's not an issue. You guys are just dickbags trying to screw us over with the internet. Hate your face.
Yeah, because they are. They're absolutely trying to screw us over with the internet. Some bullshit.
Yep, bunch of greedy companies that just want to take the internet away. Like,
so, fun fact, one of my very good friends actually runs the telemedicine program here in Alaska.
Right.
And the biggest holdback is actually getting clinics and healthcare providers in the state of Alaska to actually sign on, because most of the telemedicine machinery that was bought and paid for by CMS, or the Center for Medicaid and Medicare, they basically sit in these clinics and they become coat racks because nobody there knows actually how to use them, and they don't really care.
Sad.
So,
man, that is sad.
But think about it this way. We have, only until just recently, our department, the Department of Senior and Disability Services, used to send assessors out to these villages to see people at an exorbitant amount of cost to take and fly us out to spend 2 hours with somebody so that they can go through all the motions, and then we can decide if they need services. Whereas if they go into a telemedicine clinic, they can sit in front of the screen, they can do all the same motions while we're there in the clinic, and the person is sitting in Anchorage in the office, as opposed to flying them all the way out to Ikagik or Cake or wherever else this clinic is supposed to be.
Sure. But people aren't actually jumping on board with that idea.
Well, that's the most difficult piece, is that it's difficult to take and actually get providers to sign on to the process, because again, it is a process of getting that high-speed internet access to those clinics, which is difficult, but it has nothing to do, and I mean nothing to do, with net neutrality.
Well, and I feel like a vast majority, like I feel like that's a very unique problem for Alaska in terms of getting the clinics to those areas, because we are still such a, I don't want to say undeveloped state, but we do have such very distant areas where in the majority of other places, especially in America, they wouldn't have the same issues that Alaska does in terms of distance and getting things to them. Because, I mean, like in Montana, sure, something may be far away, but it's not nearly as a chore to get something to it as it is trying to get something to an island or to some of these literally buried in the mountain native communities.
Well, the thing is that they actually have the equipment, they have the setup, and they just have to use it. But another problem that they're running into is they're running into barriers with GCI and with other internet providers here wanting to charge them more for access to the broadband internet. And so this whole idea that they're going to somehow fix this with net neutrality is kind of completely the opposite of what is already the problem, which is the internet providers charging more for this, life-saving and hugely cost-effective service.
And we get shafted on internet and telecommunication services up here already because it's Alaska and that's what happens. So
yeah, we only have one service provider, really.
Unless you're lucky and you have access to pretty poor ACS or MTA.
That's not lucky, dude.
No.
4.
Birth control may increase chance of breast cancer by as much as 38%. This was submitted by Drewy Poodle to Our Science. Now, one real quick thing I want to touch on for everybody. Every time you hear something like this, understand what that means, okay? So if you have a 0.1% chance of something, like we'll say 1 out of every 1,000 people, which I don't even think it's that much, gets breast cancer, okay? 1 out of every 1,000. So you have a 0.1% chance of getting breast cancer. This increases that 0.1% by 38%. So you now have a 0.138% chance of getting breast cancer. So if you,
oh no.
Yeah, and it's like bacon it increases your chance of cancer by 57%. You should quit eating bacon. Well, your chances of getting cancer from eating food are so obnoxiously low that an increase of 50% from bacon doesn't do anything. Nothing that you'll realize. So it basically doesn't matter, especially when you compare it to things like smoking a cigarette. Smoking a single cigarette increases your chance of lung cancer by 10 times.
Oh,
yeah,
a lot.
Yeah, I'm going to round down. This increases your chance of breast cancer by 1/4. Smoking a cigarette increases your chance of lung cancer by 10x. Chadwick has dropped us a link in here for us to look at. Is it give us the numbers of what the actual chances are?
12%.
That is
Women.
considerable. I'm going to pull up a calculator. So you have 12.4%, and we need to times that by 0.38. Is that what the maximum that this could increase is? Yep, plus 12.4. So it moves your percent chance of breast cancer from 12.4% chance to 17.1. So it's not a ridiculously massive increase, although it is still something to be aware of. Also, it should be also pointed out the vast amount of benefits that a large amount of birth control offers to women. So, I mean, yeah. I don't really have anything else to say beyond that because it just talks about the study and how they did it and the differences between how long you were taking it as well as what age you are. Obviously, the amount that it increases is less if you recently started than if you've been taking it a long time. And, yeah. Throw in what you got, guys.
I feel like it's still important to have birth control.
But breast cancer, Nathan.
Contraception, man.
And birth control for women is even more than contraception. It's really important to helping their bodies.
Mm-hmm. Just like how Viagra helps your blood pump, you know?
Sure.
It helps hold them their heart attack potential.
They're not quite comparable, but sure.
Are you comparing birth control to an aspirin? Or where are you going with this?
Birth control and aspirin are the same thing. Just all you girls, you just need to buy bottles of aspirin.
Yep.
That'll stop everything.
And that's when our viewer base became only men. Russia is aiding North Korea with oil imports, ignoring U.S. efforts to isolate Kim Jong-un. This was submitted by Cute Kitty RG to Our World News. Very unhappy child. Poor child.
Yeah.
Give that child a hug, Chadwick. It's sad you're ignoring it. How could you?
Sorry, I've got a mute button on this microphone, and I'm trying to proactively use it.
Oh no, it's totally okay. Just children and unhappy sounds, especially because you have what, a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old, right?
That's the truth.
Yeah, those are fun ages. Those are the ages where you get to work a lot.
Oh my God! You should see my floor. It's
You can see your floor? You're doing good. Well, in any case, for this story, the price of fuel in North Korea recently plummeted, and everyone is trying to figure out why. And the only reason that they can figure out why is if their price of oil dropped, that means they got more oil. Where they get more oil from? Where the best place that they can find is the reports claim that this oil is being imported on unmarked ships from Russia. Because Russia's a bunch of dickbags, and Russia does what Russia wants.
Like, make fucking killer robots, you goddamn dickheads.
What? There was also a friggin' post that I saw on Facebook.
Robots.
Well, there's also a post I saw on Facebook of not just killer robots, but now we are teaching robots to shoot guns.
Yeah, that's not okay.
It's the end for you, Nathan.
It's the end for everyone. You guys just aren't hopping on this bandwagon.
I, for one, welcome our robot overlords.
You're just gonna be the worst goddamn fleshy meatbag. You're gonna sell us all out, you dickhead.
Already did.
Hey, I'm just saying that we We better get on record right now as supporting it, otherwise they will come for you.
I will fight I will goddamn John Connor the shit out of every goddamn robot that comes near me.
So Nathan does
I will murder all of you before you fucking give me away to these damn robots.
Nathan does not have a gun. Nathan has minimal weapons in his house, nor is he...
I have a gun. It's just not at my house.
Nor is he extremely physically fit. So it's not like he can exactly fight a robot in any case. So
I'm just not sure how comfortable I feel
robots.
With the existence and continued existence of the human race being in the hands of a nihilist who would rather see it all end anyway.
I mean, I would rather see it end for me. There's a difference.
So in that case, you do welcome our robot overlords because they will give you the end.
No, I want the option of choosing my own death.
What if they give you the option of how you want to die?
No, because then it's on their terms. Fuck that.
All right. You're my favorite kind of anti-hero.
You're welcome.
2.
United Nations official visiting Alabama to investigate great poverty and inequality. This was submitted by one Maxwellian to R Not the Onion. So this is actually not connected to the Roy Moore story whatsoever. It's just a really good coincidence that the UN is investigating Alabama right now. And they're investigating poverty, inequality, and barriers to political participation in the state. They're not only going to be in Alabama, they're going to be making other stops as well in California, West Virginia, Puerto Rico, Atlanta, and then ending their 15-day tour in Washington, D.C., in which case they will then be giving a full report as well as a public address regarding what they found. So,
okay.
Even though
I'm excited.
Yeah,
I want to see what they find, especially in Alabama of all places.
Well, and basically, even though America's a really rich country, we have a lot of poverty, and with the things that have happened recently, they're just wanting to make sure everything is on the up and up, because the idea behind government is to try to reduce poverty so that people aren't just, being put down on by those with the money.
Let's hope that's not happening to us,
I don't know. The UN to me is kind of a joke. So the fact that we also pay 90% of their bills, I don't know how much stock I'm going to take in somebody being there for an afternoon to take and decide that there's inequality in the United States.
Well, and also how much even if they spent 2 days there, unless I don't know how you gather, and maybe I just need to see how they're gathering this data. But otherwise, what are you going to do? Drive around, Atlanta and be like, oh, yep, that looks rough. All right, well, you guess Atlanta's fucked. I don't know how you'd go about doing this. Nathan?
Yeah, I'm unsure either. I don't know. It'd be fun to see what they see, though.
I just imagine, show me this mythical ghetto you speak of.
Yes.
All right. Well, let's take a ride.
Take me to the ghetto. Well, I can't.
Yo, this looks like half of Europe.
I can't guarantee that you'll get to leave, but sure, we can go to the ghetto.
Half of Europe is a ghetto, so I mean,
Dude,
I'm pretty sure that they're done looking at ghettos.
I'm pretty sure it's like not 85% of the world is a ghetto.
That's fair.
I mean, there are ghettos and then there are shanty slums.
No, that's not fair. You can't have a ghetto in a country that is the ghetto.
Well, fine. All right.
1.
Same-sex marriage is now legal in Australia. This was submitted by Bendy the Brave to Our World News. Good work, Australia. Good work. Now,
the sinister gay cabal strikes again.
The thing is...
Oh, no.
I'm saying that with all the sarcasm, by the way.
Did you know that this only means that Australia is just the 26th country to legalize same-sex marriage?
Didn't Australia and Austria legalize same-sex marriage on the same time?
I have no idea.
Go, look it up.
Okay.
I can't look it up.
Austria legalizes gay marriage.
Just saying.
Yep, you are
Michael,
correct.
You had a great,
nope, that's
you had
Australia.
a great point earlier. there are worse places to live.
Yeah. While you were trying to get your friggin' shit together, Nathan, I was talking to Chadwick about how, people like to complain about the situation of things right now. And, people are like, fuck it, I'm leaving. I'm going to move to fucking somewhere else. And part of me is like, but I don't think you understand how lucky you are to be in America. Like, I understand things aren't exactly the way you want them. It might be a little rough. But at the same time, they could be a whole lot worse.
I feel you should be able to pick and choose what country you want to be affiliated with.
And yes, Nathan, you are correct. Austria did legalize same-sex marriage.
Yeah, see? That way people can't get confused on Twitter.
Was that the only reason? That's the only reason why Austria's like, fuck, Australia did it. Now we have to.
Exactly. Or vice versa.
Oh, man. If I can get this damn thing to work. Stupid. No, why are you dumb? All right. I'm going to go ahead and move into this stuff. We do have an awesome topic to talk about from Mr. Chadwick, and I'm just going to go with this one. Oh, shit! Trump is forcing a political shift inside Silicon Valley. Chadwick submitted this himself via email. Do you want me to run through it, Chadwick, or would you like to?
Oh, no, go ahead.
Okay, so what this is talking about, and it's involved with the FCC and everything that's been going on recently. Silicon Valley is a section of California that has the large, big, major companies in it. So think people like Apple, Microsoft, Google, Facebook. All of those people are kind of all Amazon. They're all smushed into this one little section of space called Silicon Valley. And
all those evil 1%ers.
Yeah, the evil 0.1%ers. And what this is talking about is the amount of control, hidden control, that those companies have. Twitter, Facebook, Google, and the ability that they have in order to actually influence things in the country without necessarily people being able to realize that they're doing it. Because Twitter already had gotten in trouble once for censoring the ads and communications by a particular candidate in America. And so they're like, you are in with Trump now, because before it wasn't a big deal because they were on the same side as everybody else. But with Trump's administration in the office, it is easier to see because they're so starkly against him. And yeah. You and me talked about this a few times before. We talked about it when Disney was basically like, all right, Georgia, you want to be assholes to gay people? We just won't film movies there anymore. And Georgia was like, wait, what? And they're like, yeah, we're just not going to film anything in Georgia anymore. And Georgia went, what does that mean for us? And they went, click, 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 click. It means we're absolutely broke if Disney leaves. Oh, well, I guess we're going to stop being mean to the gays then. Or, like when Google does things and we're like, yeah, good on you, Google. But we've also addressed before that we're like, it's really good that they're the good guys because otherwise that would have fucking sucked. Especially if Disney was like, if you don't be assholes to gay people, we'll stop filming. And then they would have been like, all the gays, fuck them. Like, so this is kind of looking at it from the other side of things, of that in terms of the way that they are reacting to the administration, it's not nearly as much of a positive anymore.
I'm sorry, what?
What?
I couldn't hear you.
I said with the way that the Silicon Valley companies are reacting to the administration, there's a larger amount of people that don't see their actions as a positive anymore.
So the big part of this is also censorship, and basically when you tip the scales, like if you say, okay, we're just not going to allow political speech, or we're not going to allow controversial topics to come up. So let's say there's something like, I don't know, the GOP tax plan or something like that.
The cut
one of those companies is going to benefit hugely from it. And so let's say, okay, Google is now going to get, I don't know, $50 billion if this takes and goes through, because it's going to benefit largely from the benefits that a corporation would get from reduced taxes. Well, then if you looked at the way that their algorithms run, when somebody takes and searches the tax plan, it would take and skew them towards, okay, well, this tax is going to be benefit or benefit all Americans, not just Google. But it's those searches would then lead to positive news about the tax cut plan as opposed to negative news. And so there's things like that could happen, or things that when you basically tilt the playing field to one side or the other, it can negatively affect the discourse in a democracy where presenting different ideas can be much more beneficial than everybody thinking the same thing.
Well, and especially because, like, we've talked, to make another comparison, like with the FCC and net neutrality, the major telecommunications industries, Comcast, Verizon, AT&T, they're all on the same page, which is why it sucks, because they're all out to get us. And there is very, very often that these major companies out of Silicon Valley, Amazon, Facebook, Google, Microsoft, etc., are all also on the same page. And so if they're on a page that's not good for us, then it just sucks, and there's not a lot we can do about it.
I can understand that.
Competition is a good thing. And when there's less of it, things become more expensive. We have less internet providers in the state, for one. And that's kind of what this gets into. Also, is that when everybody's kind of like, oh, well, we'll do all the same. We're all going to do the same thing. We're all going to take and buy up the competitors, and it kind of conglomerates power into these, the big 3 or 4 providers.
Like super corporation.
Yeah, they're not monopolies, but they're close enough, especially when they all are basically working together to do what they want.
They're as close as they can get to a monopoly legally.
Yeah. So, it sucks, and it's something to be aware of, especially because, like we talked about in the past, it's nice when large companies take things that are beneficial for people, or at least that we perceive to be beneficial to people. But if they start to take different directions, it's something to be very concerned about.
I guess let's just hope that they stay good, that they don't fall to the dark side.
Sure. Keep giving them your money. That's all you got to do, Nathan.
I'm just saying, I hope, my great fear is that those companies are going to start to become what you see on college campuses, a lot of places, where any kind of dissenting opinion is not only shunned, but it's also considered an act of violence, to the point where it doesn't matter what your opinion is. If you are labeled this thing, you are just you're either ignored, you are protested, or you are thrown out. And my worry is that could easily happen to the internet. And that's not good.
Nope. The internet should be a vast, wide open thing that is accessible by and for everybody.
Like that episode of South Park.
Sure. Hey, Nathan.
Where they did troll hunt.
Look at me! What'd you care about in the last 24 hours? I put a thing in here, but I don't know if you cared about it that much.
I forgot what that was.
Atheist group's billboard in Texas, quote, "Just skip church. It's all fake news."
That's I feel like that's bullshit. Like, they should be able to go to church whenever they want. I don't care if religious people are religious.
Sure.
They can be religious if they want, as long as it's not forced upon me. No, what I cared about was I saw this BBC News article yesterday about this GIF that you can hear.
Sure, yeah. GIFs with sound.
Yeah, I mean, and it's mostly like a shaking of the ground. You can hear like the boom of something landing. It's kind of crazy, the way your brain tricks you.
There is a subreddit called Loud GIFs, and it's GIFs that don't have any sound, but with the techniques that are used, it is as though your brain generates the sound.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
It's
the
really
human brain
cool.
is insane.
Noisy GIFs, that's what it's called. Noisy GIFs.
And I also want to make horror movies about the fourth dimension, but it's so hard.
Do it, Nathan.
It's really, really hard.
And we'll jump. I cared about two things. One is that we talked previously about Mr. Larry Nazar. That was the gymnastics doctor that had been sexually molesting tons and tons and tons of the gymnasts over the years. He has been sentenced to 60 years in prison.
Fuck.
Go the fuck to jail, you terrible, psychotic individual.
Does he have a chance of getting out?
I mean, he's not that young, so possibly,
No, probably
but
not.
probably not.
I gotcha.
I mean, he's 54 right now.
That's fucking impressive. Like getting jailed for 60 years at 54.
I mean,
that being said, though, it's understandable because that guy's a fucking dickhead.
With everything he's being charged for, the minimum that he could he would have to stay in jail at least 25 years before he could get a chance to get out.
That's fucking crazy.
Making him 79.
Damn.
It's alright, I'm sure that somebody's going to diddle him like he... Well,
yeah, he was a child molester. He's probably dead.
Yeah. Inmates do not take well to child molesters. Like they're
if you fucking get popped for child molestation, like there's two ways out. Either they're killing you or you're killing yourself.
Yeah, because they're going to be like...
Very rarely are you getting out of there.
Man, you shouldn't be doing that. I kill people. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to kill you.
A lot of people are in there for so long, they don't even care if they kill another inmate.
They're like, well, I'm not getting out, so...
Life.
All right, we are going to work on getting out of here, though. Which I guess is good timing since Nathan is literally dying right now in terms of his connection to us. Everybody, if you would help support the show, patreon.com/dailyinternet. In addition, do remember we have that AMA in 1 week, December 14th. Send your question in to wherever you can get a hold of us. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, wherever you can get a hold of us. Just send us in your questions. I would like to once again thank Mr. David Chadwick for joining us today and apologize for the technical issues that we have had.
Yeah, anytime.
Yeah, we will.
This is a lot of fun, actually. I really enjoyed this.
And we enjoyed you being here. And we enjoyed your input.
Sweet.
As Nathan nods, like, am I still here?
I'm unsure, you know.
Yeah, it's okay, Nathan. We forgive you. All right, everybody, that has been your 396th dose of the internet. We will be back on Monday at 6 p.m. Alaska time on Facebook and YouTube. I am Michael Schwan.
And I'm Nathan Wood.
And I'm David Chadwick.
There you go. And
there you go.
And please remember, everybody.
Don't get eliminated!
Have a good day, everyone.
Bye.